Well, I'll tell you what, I almost made a $400 mistake. Hello everybody, coming at you with all my might. It is Smite. It's a beautiful day. It's 59.0 degrees, so that's 59 degrees. I'm not sure how many kilometers it is for you guys over in Europe or Asia or wherever you use the metric system. And I find it kind of funny that they use kilometers for speed, degrees, and everything. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. Ah, swervy dots. This is my favorite part about going to Sunbury is the swervy dots. They put these in the road specifically for motorcyclists to practice swerving. So as you can hear, we're back on the GoPro. I don't know if you can hear it, but you can see it too. You don't have that side view of the helmet. We're using the Icon variant. Well, I'll tell you what, I almost made a $400 mistake. So here's the fact. When I did that video, what happened is I got caught in the rain and the GoPro shutter button, it worked for the whole entire video, but as soon as I got home, it stopped working. Like the camera would just turn on by itself and it would switch to picture mode and it would just non-stop take pictures. And I couldn't do anything. I had to take the battery out. As soon as you put a battery in, it would just turn on and start taking pictures, which is weird because I had to sit in camera mode. So what I was gonna do, GoPro, the Hero 7 just got announced and they put the thing up where you get $100 off if you trade in your old GoPro. So I was about to do that, but I procrastinated a couple days, and by the time I was ready to commit and do it, they did away with the program. They wanted it to, the only way they would accept the $100 off was if you got the 360 camera. And honestly, I didn't want the 360 camera. Look at that bridge, it's so magnificent. So since I procrastinated, I'm like, ah, shoot. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take apart, maybe the button's stuck. I'm just gonna take apart the GoPro. And I'm like, I have no idea how to do this. So I just looked up online how to take apart, you know, GoPro shutter button. And I looked and I'm like, wait a minute, there's a whole board just for the shutter button? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's weird, I don't know. So what I ended up doing, swervy dog! What I ended up doing is I found a video that had all the information on how to take a GoPro apart. And I'm taking my GoPro apart, I pry the faceplate off, and I'm getting to work on the screws. Oh man, I messed up my rhythm. And what I did is I got the faceplate off, I took the screws out, I'm prying apart, and all of a sudden I hear a snap. I'm like, oh no. I look, I forgot to pull my 64 gig memory card out. You know, it's a class 3 Ultra HD, but you could get much better now, but at the time I paid like 60 bucks for it. And crunch, there it goes. I'm looking and it broke the tailpiece right off. I'm like, maybe it'll still work but I don't see any plastic or wiring stuff. Sure enough, as soon as you put it in, it said error SD card. I'm like, dang. So I got it all apart and I looked, and there is so much, since I have this not in the case, it's just in the GoPro frame, and then I have a lens cover, it gets a lot of dust in there. Like there was just dust and dirt everywhere. So here's my theory. When I pulled it apart, it looked like there was a piece of burnt on the little ribbon that connects the shutter button board to the motherboard. So I looked at that and I scraped the dirt off. I'm like, I don't know. I unplugged that board, and let me tell you what, that is the hardest thing to get in there because you can't get it plugged back in. And there's hundreds of people online that say the same thing, like, I don't know how to get it plugged in, and camera shops don't know how to do it. Well, they didn't really try hard enough, because I ended up, the motherboard is connected to the camera, and the clicker button board, the shutter button board, is connected to the battery box. So you have to pull the battery box out of the GoPro house. So I pulled that out, and then once that was all connected, I just, you know, because it was at a weird 90-degree angle, and that's how you had to plug it in, and since it was back in the bottom of the housing, you couldn't get to it. So I pulled that out so I could have a straight shot, and I just jammed it in there and it plugged in, and I'm like, all right, well, now I guess we'll see what happens. So what I did is I stuck the battery in and hit the power button. I want to turn here. And all of a sudden it didn't start taking pictures. I'm like, okay, so far so good. I never went up this road, it's bumpy. So far so good. And I clicked the shutter button and it said no SD. I'm like, yes! Of course, that meant I destroyed my SD card. But on the other hand, it meant that my shutter button was now working. So literally all I did was tear apart the GoPro and unplug it and plug it back in. The first thing they tell you to do in tech support school. Did you try plugging it in? But so my theory is that with all that dirt in the case, when it rained, the dirt turned into mud and got in between the connections, or it somehow became unplugged. I don't know, but like I said, it makes no sense. Needless to say, we're up and running. This is the first video I've done on it since the repair. I'm hoping, I didn't really test it, I just noticed that the buttons work because nothing else was broken, so I hope we have a good video. I didn't really screw with anything else in there, so I don't think I broke anything. I didn't actually take the housing for the film aperture stuff itself, so the imager board. I didn't take anything apart in there, so everything should still be good with the camera. I didn't touch any of the imager board or anything. That all stayed together, so. And I have this, if you like me on Facebook, I post some stuff up on there randomly too. It's just easy sometimes when I want to do a quick announcement. So like me on Facebook, link in the description below. Now, I really do like the Hero 7, but I'm going through a whole world of financial issues right now. So I'm glad I didn't bust out the money, but I honestly think the Hero 7 would be a good improvement because of the image stabilization, but I'm not ready to spend that kind of money on it since my Hero 4 is still in good working condition. Granted, the video on the Hero 4 is really good, but it's like insane on the Hero 7. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. That's all I got for you today, folks. Thank you so much for watching, and there's more videos to come. Have a nice day, and God bless.